Good afternoon, everyone. Excuse me. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for March 29th, 2021, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. This week we'll have our TFCC Time for Change call this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on this line. We'll also have our reverse aging call. I have a couple new announcements to make on that call. That'll be Friday of this week. This is a difficult transition for a lot of us, or maybe most of us, to know that we are already free. It's the appearance that says you are in some form of prison. The mind tells you that you're not enough of this and of that you're not enough of this and that. The heart may be protective, hiding behind a wall and avoiding being loved and feeling love in this very moment. So the truth is that you are free to feel love, pain, freedom, joy, whatever you want in each moment. The reality of this shines forth when you simply soften, open up to your darkness, and realize that you're always free to have any experience of this life. No matter what your mind believes, your consciousness will always and forever be free. So it's kind of a conundrum. The mind imprisons us from the get-go, is about the best way to state it. So the mind is the prison that constantly, and that's why the mind creates the illusion of the ego. And the mind is an illusion as well, but it keeps us confined in a cell, so to speak, where when we are not with the soul, in other words, interactive with our souls, then the mind and the ego keep us in a cell, so we don't believe that we're free. And we're free. We're the opposite of that. I'm not saying that the mind and the ego are enemies. I'm saying that we must choose to master the mind and the ego. I'm not saying that's a real lickety-split thing, but to become consciously aware that that's part of our journey is to master this body that we're in, is to literally overcome a lot of the things that we're just totally unaware of. And it's quite exciting. It's quite an adventure for all of us to determine, to start understanding is that this is one of the main reasons that we go within and stay within. We're so distracted from externality, from all of this out there. The doom, the gloom, the boogeymen, and all that stuff. Instead of knowing our true power is within. Every aspect of us is within. So it's just up to us to choose to be and stay within. You've probably heard the term, where people think the grass is always greener on the other side. If you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. See, it's this hurriedness that the mind and the ego puts us in, where we get hurried, where we're hurried. Got to get this done, get this. Then become frustrated. And then that's a low frequency. It lowers our frequency, which then feeds even more of miscombobulated, distressed. That was Nisargadatta Maharaj. One of the greatest transformers that many of us have ever experienced in this life was from meditating on the nature of the mind. I've been meditating on the nature of the mind for 40 years. Through months of internal investigation, closely watching how the mind works, what it thinks, why it thinks, and what it thinks, why it thinks, what it thinks, and now it tends to repeat itself. You begin to understand the great manifesting mystery of this life on a more intimate and spiritual level. You will begin to notice every day that no matter what you do, your mind continues on this deep, relentless search for truth, love, joy, pleasure, and happiness. No matter how satisfied you are that day, hour, minute before, the mind returns to its old habit of yearning for something more. There is only one direction it wanted to go: to evolve, grow, expand, improve, and learn how to find ways to become more satisfied. So you may realize that the mind, your mind, all of our minds, even want to understand itself better, thinking that if it found a richer understanding of itself, then this would finally lead to more happiness and real satisfaction. This is how convoluted the mind is. It will believe anything. You will also notice that when you feel sad, lethargic, depressed, or just want to give up on manifesting your dream life, the mind still continues its perpetual search for some form of happiness just on another level. The more often that you would sit back from the mind and watch it, you begin to realize how deeply programmed it is, and that there's really nothing that can be done about it. So the mind is on a sacred, holy quest devoted to this grand divine search, and at the core program, it cannot be interested in being content, relaxed, rested, or supremely at peace. It prefers to be entertained by something interesting, deep, sparkly, rich, tempting, or maybe an idea that would make it feel loved, special, or important. The mind doesn't have the capacity to rest forever in a state of happiness, because if it did, we would not evolve. Think about it. What if the mind was totally satisfied? What would happen to your world? What would you even look deeper into this question at all? Would you care about anything or any real meaning in this life? If so, why would you? Because throughout our entire lives, this seeking mechanism is one machine we cannot turn off, nor would we want to. We simply have to be deeply aware that this perpetual seeking machine is always running, 24/7, without fail. The divine design of the mind is perfect, and we simply need to understand its perfection if we are really to enjoy this life and find our spiritual journey here. We need to understand first that desire is not the cause of suffering. Rather, it's our attachment to desire, which holds us to the state of anxiety. To be continuously wanting, wishing, and thinking is utter hell. To be able to rest, relax, and enjoy the radiant, healing, golden energy from the great spiritual light from within is absolute bliss. Our minds have been embedded for centuries with this ancient, unsatisfied program for one very wonderful reason. A great creativity and manifesting fire gets ignited when we believe the grass is greener, richer, softer, and more lush in the neighbor's yard. And Sure, the mind can get crazy and start thinking the neighbors must be smarter, happier, and more enlightened because they have greener grass. Chances are high that the neighbors don't actually have greener grass than you, but you can't tell that truth to the seeking, desiring mind. The good news is that an enormous fire of desire is fit and lit when we see that we just don't have it all. The mind is a genius at believing whatever it wants to believe is true. Whatever it wants to believe it's true. It can only see a fraction of the whole truth. It cannot contain the entire universal truth all the time. It would be out of a job if it had that knowledge. It's a master at inventing super creative stories about your limitations in this world, which fill you up with this amazing experience called insecurity. These wonderful insecure feelings are perfectly designed to push you onto your spiritual path. They provoke you to dig deeper. So you stop functioning in automatic robot mode and find your real purpose for being alive. Your insecurity causes you to drop the mind games, so you start stoking your real spiritual fire, unleashing your deepest motivation, your highest inspiration, and your richest creativity inside. Unless you become a Buddha, you have not lived at all, because you will not know the great poetry of this life, the great music of existence. You will not know the celestial celebration that goes on and on. You will not know the dance of the stars. This bliss is for you. All these flowers and all these songs and all these stars are for you. You are entitled to miracles. Osho. In a way, this body, we moved into this body. To be born is kind of gray area. We can say we moved into this body to evolve. We were born to evolve, expand our consciousness, and eventually become awakened to Buddhas. And we know that a Buddha simply means one who has stopped sleeping, one who is aware, self-realized, and living fully in the now. A Buddha simply means one who has stopped sleeping, one who is aware, self-realized, and living fully in the now, which means that you are outside the mind, outside the ego, and where you are guiding the mind and ego rather than reverse. It's perhaps the easiest and most natural way we can experience this life. Yet it means we have to unlearn everything we believe to be the reason why we are here. That is absolutely crucial. We have to we choose or not choose, but yet it means we have to unlearn everything we believe to be the reason why we are here. To stimulate the enlightened path in our lives, we need to create more space and room to grow. We need to feel the lack of something and experience the great emptiness that is all around. This empty feeling is always available, inherent within each desire that comes from the mind. To reach the enlightened state, we must choose to dive into the mind and let it go. We must let the mind believe that the neighbor's grass is greener than our own and realize how ridiculous it is to be comparing grass in the first place. We must notice all the places in our lives where we are comparing ourselves with others, with people we look up to, saying that they have something we don't, which is a bunch of crap anyway. We must allow the mind to be brimming with jealousy, full with desire, so much that it implodes into this fantastic empty universe that is exploding with life. If we allow the mind to do what it does, it will eventually invent some fantastic new organic, healthier way to grow better grass, and one day have greener grass than the neighbors, with a glorious new imagined goal and destination to be entertained by. The mind can provoke us to expand our consciousness, playing its endless games within games instead inside of itself, just for the pure discovery of all the many multidimensional joys and pleasures of being alive. What else did you want to do with your time here on Earth? Nurture your mind with great thoughts, for you will never go any higher than you can think. Benjamin Disraeli. One word of caution to each of us on our manifesting journeys: to be very aware of that the mind, be aware of that the mind is a Jedi master at distracting us from what's spiritually real and essential. And yes, this distraction is also sacred, needed, and divine for when we finally give up seeking and attend to what actually is spiritual and real. We see how the distraction was not really a distraction, but a truly essential ingredient in directing our path towards a spiritual awakening. It's quite beautiful to sit back and recognize how perfect every aspect of existence actually is. Nothing is actually imperfect, or actually as we think it is. Our addictions are glorious. Our perpetual search for something better is deeply needed for our enlightenment. What we think will make us happy is the essential illusion needed to find the real. This feeling that we are lacking something is the succulent dangling chocolate, dangling on the golden string to get us to come out of our dark caves. Perfection is everywhere and in everything always. The divine being that we all truly are is ridiculously intelligent. It is so spiritually smart. It knows where we are hiding and exactly how to get us to come out. It realizes that we would never know what true wholeness was like unless we believed we had a hole to fill. We cannot know what blissful freedom feels like until we experience the most imprisoning, limiting state of mind. The great mystery of life has this miraculous way of continuously teaching us what we most need to know for enlightenment. There is not a moment that goes by where the universe is not inviting us to dive deeper inside and surrender more completely into the healing depths of our souls. We are constantly being summoned to come out of hiding. The universe wants us to appreciate this sweet spiritual gift of existence. It is always giving the God source to us, to liberate ourselves from the internal catacomb-like prisons of the mind. We are being constantly welcomed to see everything in our lives with absolute love and clarity. We always have this option to sit down, relax about it all, and understand our life's mission. Right now, we can stop everything and choose to live in total devotion and connection with our heart's spiritual presence. We all came into these bodies to discover that we are amazing, multidimensional, divine manifesting beings who can create anything we desire. This huge and truly awesome task requires that we unleash our full power and reveal our ultimate treasure inside. And the greatest treasure we have is found once we stop the mind and rest at our source of consciousness. This is meditation. And it is the divine doorway to opening our life up to the highest states of energy, love, and consciousness. This temporary stopping of the mind happens every day, yet it's just whether we are doing it consciously or it's being done to us and have no way to create it. Perhaps both are true. Yet when we allow a new perception of reality like this one, it can radically change our lives forever. The coin has three sides to it, and they are all true. It's not so much the doing, but the undoing that actually makes a shift occur. Letting go of the most minor shifts in perception, the slightest adjustments to how we are seeing life can totally transform our entire experience of who and what we are. The greatest guru is always within you. Ramana Maharishi. Use your mind instead of being used by your mind. Use your mind instead of being used by your mind. Worship, respect, honor, and love this brilliant, all-powerful tool so you can create what you want in this life. Stop being unconsciously used by the tool. Stop being unconsciously used by the tool. If you don't use the tool consciously, you will be used by it. This means don't get over-identified with your tool. Don't avoid your tool. Do not fight with your tool. The mind is not who you are. You are not the tool. Even if the mind tells you that you are a good failure 10,000 times, just know that you are 10,000 times closer to stepping back to become more conscious of your tool addiction and stop being used by it. Deep down, realize your soul is ultimately in charge and running the show. Trust in this always. No exceptions. Trust in it always. Trust that this life has a higher intelligence than you'll ever understand, and it is taking you on the most exquisite, unique ride through this world so that one day you will sit back and become the Jedi Master of your mind and experience the greatest form of satisfaction and pleasure. Become devoted to being absolutely gentle with yourselves, no matter what. When you can be gentle with your mind, you will master it and eventually be free from it. The mind will listen to you instead of you always listening to it. When you can have full mastery over the mind, all you feel is a great love and gentleness with everything. Every thought, memory, and experience you come across on your inner world. This is real mastery. When you can be gentle, no matter what, no matter how crazy, irate, or demanding the world becomes, make the promise to yourself right now that you will be gentle with you no matter what occurs. No matter what. No matter what. Enjoy the journey. It's guaranteed to get even better. 10,000 deep eternal loves. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Do you know that there is a point where you can walk this planet in a total state of relaxation 24/7? Now, I haven't met anybody yet that can do that, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. So relax the body. Just like the mind is a tool for you to use and it not use you, the body is the same. The body is a vessel that carries us around, our souls, our essence. And the body helps us learn more about who and what we are. So it's quite important for us. So how do you relax it? Remember, you're the master, you're the commander. So anything that you attract, because you're an omnipotently powerful magnet, we all are. We are omnipotently powerful creators. We create 24/7. We manifest 24/7, whether we are consciously aware or not. We move energy into form, we create it into reality. So you relax the body. Let the stuff go. Anything that is tense, suppressive, aggressive, irritating, distraught, anxiety-filled, fearful, let it go. It is when we hold on to things is when we suffer. It's when we have attachment to things is when we suffer. You don't have to have attachment. They're out there. You know it. So you let them go. And they eventually will come to you, and you can embrace them, and you can walk right through them. Embrace all your fears. Everything. Most of the things, the fears, are thoughts that we create. They're thoughts that come in. And then we create that energy into form, we move it into reality. And then we have fear. And as you release these, some of them aren't easy to release because, believe it or not, the mind convinces us that we have to hold on to them. Even though they're they're stressful, they're pulling, they're not pleasant. Mind says, oh no, you got to hold on to those. You learn what you do, you learn very quickly. We learn quickly because we only need to experience certain things once. We don't need to experience them over and over and over and over again. So we let them go. The body will relax and kind. Head to toe, inside and out. Remember, when you lean back into that wonderfully comfortable chair, easy chair, couch, whatever it may be, you're leaning into the God that you are. This is your confidence that you have through the heart-mind. The God that you are is always with you. Omnipotently powerful. You are a piece of all source creation. Each of us are. Feel that. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And each of us is exactly that. So your body is just so relaxed, you move into the now. The now is the sacred key to mastering the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind, all of it. They become your tools rather than your masters. So when you move into the now, the space between heartbeats, only the moment you're in, every moment you're in, that's the now. Because once you're in the now, and once you become consciously aware to move into the now, and to stay in the now eventually, nobody can come up to you and say, what are you going to do tomorrow? Because you won't even acknowledge it. Because you'll be in the now. Because you will consciously know that's the only way you're going to create your future, is in the now. So your body's relaxed, you're in the now. People say, well, you have a past. Not really. In the material world, you have a past. In the soul world, you do not have a past. The past is old in the now. It is an elephant graveyard. It carcasses and tusks, everything. Mist. You can't see very good because it's just kind of a smoky fog and all this. The past is inert, gone. They were now moments, and they're now nothing. Yeah, a lot of us reminisce. That's great because those are memories. You know, we interact with the memories. We embrace things that were wonderful that we experienced. That's good. That's our library. But when you go into the past and you stay there, you will absolutely end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past and reliving that past and that future. And anyway, so many on this planet seem like they're just wandering around, and I just keep ending up in the same place no matter what I do. Why is that? I got to change things. I don't understand. It's because you lived in the past. You live in the past too long. Most of us escape the now. For some reason, we jump over it. We leave the past, and we jump over the now. We're in the future. Future doesn't even exist. And we're wandering around, wondering what if. What if this? What if that? Well, I wonder when this, and how's that? There's a numerous amount of questions we ask ourselves. Dreaming is different. Dreaming is the connection to the manifestation of your desire without attachment, say. But the now, you will find, if you haven't already, is all we have. Do you know when you're going to leave the body? No, you don't. So that's why the now is absolutely paramount. Only in the now will you master the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. Only in the now. So you're relaxed. You're in the now. How do you stay in the now? All of us, none of us are exempt from being pulled off by the ego mind and the thoughts. It's real easy for us to do. Your breath, your divine positive energy. The breath is divine. It's positive. It sustains the vessel that holds the kingdom of God within it. The soul source. The God source of which every single one of us are. It focuses us, it relaxes us, it strengthens us, it eases us, it calms us. It sustains these bodies. I mean, it's endless. It's miraculous. So every single time that you're consciously aware, which isn't a bad thing when we wander off in these thoughts, most of them aren't ours. You say, I'm wandering off in my thoughts. No big deal. I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. This is part of mastering for all of us. Master the breath. You master the breath, you will master the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. They will be your tools. You will carry the toolbox. Whenever you need them, you will have them. The right tool for the right job. Now you look at your body, it's relaxed. Now remember, you're not in it. You're outside of it. You, the God that you are, watching the body, the mind, the ego. As you do, and it's in that relaxed state, in that easy chair, you see these colorful, vibrant circles of light. They're running from the tailbone all the way up to the center, top of your head. They're all vibrant colors, not colors that you would see here on this planet. Much more vibrant, much more deep. Each one is a different flower. Each one holds a little different geometric shape in the center of the flower. These are the chakras. These are the energy vortexes. They are connected to all of our organs, all of our emotions, all of our direction while in these bodies. They're a very intricate roadmap of understanding the power that we are. Very few have even mastered the chakras and used their power. So when we look and we see the different colors, and we go right to the red wheel of light, And this is the root chakra, the Muladhara. This is our career, money, mindset, sense of belonging, being in the flow of our lives consciously. This is our survival. And it is blocked by fear, and fear is an illusion that we create into a reality. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. This is our sexuality and pleasure. It is our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. It deals with our pleasure, and it is blocked by guilt, another illusion. And then we move to the golden yellow wheel of light. This is our willpower. This is the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura, personal power, ability to channel, and it is blocked by shame. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, which is love. It's our ability to love. Our relationships, our self-acceptance is blocked by grief. And we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra, Vishuddha, self-expression. It's our ability to communicate. This deals with our truth and is blocked by lies. Then we move to the indigo wheel of light, the Ajna, third eye chakra, intuition, sense of purpose, our direction in our lives. This deals with insight, and it is blocked by illusion. And we move to the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light, the Sahasrara. Connection, direct connection with the cosmic field of existence, the cosmic energy. Everything connect directly to the divine. Deals with cosmic energy is blocked by ego attachment. We are all consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. These bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, subconscious mind, higher self, spirit, soul, the God source, pure consciousness, all one. We are heaven on this earth, literally, not figuratively. The body holds divine perfection with your soul that never changes because it's divine perfection. Everything else does. That is heaven. That's from pure source creation. The body is earthly. You are heaven on this earth. And every step we take, we are creating paradise. Now, can you imagine when this civilization, the majority, move in that direction as choosing to? There's no limits. Because every step we're creating paradise, and we've learned to shine our light outward, to flood everything on top of it all. Our light emanates from the God force, love, light energy that is the soul, the God source, pure consciousness. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And we're flooding everything. All of it. All the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. All those that are asleep, unconscious. Complete purification by lifting the very vibrational frequency of this planet in this civilization into the highest of the highest high, pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude, and deep, eternal peace. So you have a planet that we are on, in, above, and below, that glows, that is filled with billions of gods that make up the one God. Now, we're all conscious, or we wouldn't be in this meditation. So we communicate with all the parts of the one, as we are, in the collective consciousness, who are awake, who are consciously aware. Because remember, every particle has its own consciousness. So, we reach out to all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now, consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond it, forever. Yet only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, and a complete liberation of this planet. Now they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of different universes in every direction. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of the off-worlders, galactics, the celestials, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. They're in uncountable numbers throughout all universes and existences, all shapes, forms, appearances, configurations. And the ones that we're kind of familiar with, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, many, many, many more. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they, in uncountable numbers, are with us now, consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. They come in the billions, and they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms, on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, are in this now, in this meditation. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming of the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen before. As a matter of fact, we only see 1% of that which does exist here. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. Arm in arm, hand in hand. We are all gathered in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation. This circle of light is our God force love light energy, which is our essence. It is the God source. It is divine perfection, pure consciousness, our soul. And this light is so brilliant and so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even compare to its radiance and brilliance. We are flooding this planet. We are liberating this planet inside and out, head to toe, with this God force love light energy, saturating all of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake, half awake, asleep, constantly, eternally, always. We begin to levitate above the planet as this circle of light. All of us gathered in this meditation, all of us consciously aware. As we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. Uncountable numbers of vibrant, colored, reflective lighting. It's like laser beams and strobes flashing everywhere. In fact, that's all you see. And when we zero in on the source of the reflection, these little microscopic tiny etched mirrors, and the depth of them reflecting all of us to and from each other. Because we are teachers and students for each other. We are both, and we are none. This is part of us assisting each other as particles of creation on this journey. We are met by the emerald green, flaming, healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing, that we are healing. We're then met by the purple, violet, blue flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met by the white fire. This is the column of light that reminds each of us, all of us, that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor that is impenetrable. It emanates from the depth of our core, the source, the God source, pure consciousness, soul. Feel it in your heart, minds, emotion, picture, see it. No attachment, no demons, no apparitions, no lower dark matter frequencies. Nothing can harm any of us, period, ever. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hate, anger, fear, anxiety, stress, worry, hurriedness, greed, deception, manipulation, envy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. You do decide to do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are vaporized never again. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. And we can literally transform the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, cleansing and purifying, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring the harmony and high vibrational frequency of deep eternal love and gratitude. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals, the sky, the clouds. We are everything. So when you see a sunset or a sunrise or a beautiful vista, majesty, and you're in awe of the beauty, it is you you're in awe of. It is your soul. It is the God source. It is divine perfection. It is the pure consciousness. It is you. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to levitate above the planet. As we do, some of us step outside our physical bodies, if we're carrying them, and float effortlessly above them. We come into full view of a massive crystalline light tower that we've all created, larger than this solar system. And in the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this huge golden white sparkling ball of light. And around it are several vibrant colored rings of light, shimmering and sparkling. And they're all sending waves. The ball of light, the rings of light, all shimmering, sending these misty warm waves, saturating us to our very core. Deep eternal love from the golden bowl of light. All the colors, gratitude, generosity, humbleness, gentleness, kindness, well-being, great wealth, abundance, prosperity, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, benevolence, endless. And then we discover it is us. It is the God source. It is the soul emanating that of which we truly are. At the top, we designed so the golden ocean can come cascading down, 360 degrees. This golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love, and we are flooding this planet with this golden ocean eternally, perpetually. On it, in it, above it, and below it. With the purest of the deepest eternal love, gratitude, and peace, the highest of the highest high, deep vibrational frequencies of that which we are, the God source. And we are drops of this golden ocean. And we hold the essence of this golden ocean. The ocean is the drops, and the drops are the ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We look and see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds 1,300 of our meditations in pure vibrational frequency, eternal. Feel that through your heart minds. Hundreds of millions of beings, on and off world, throughout all universes, gathered in the meditation, a liberation of this planet and its civilizations. Consciously aware that we are all of the God source, from the God source. That's massive. This planet cannot not be liberated. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify. This is why it continues to expand. Feel this vibrational frequency of which you are of. All of us are. See it through the heart mind. Know it. Embrace it. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out.
Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Be as you are outside of the mind and the ego. Remember that they can become useful tools for you. When that happens, they're no longer the master of you. You're the master of them. If you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. Your restlessness causes the chaos. Restlessness is attached to the mind and the ego. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here Tuesday, March 30th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.